In the event that you are over the age of 60, it is crucial to understand that every single decision you make, no matter how small it may seem, what you eat, how well you sleep, even the way you get up from a chair or walk across the room, has a direct and lasting impact on your heart. At this stage of life, your body no longer recovers as quickly as it once did. The systems that kept you going effortlessly in your younger years now require more attention, more care, and greater intention. Your heart, in particular, becomes vulnerable in ways that are not always obvious. But what if I told you that there's one seemingly harmless activity, one daily habit that almost everyone over the age of 60 engages in without a second thought, that is quietly causing progressive and sometimes irreversible damage to the heart? This is not about the usual culprits we all hear about, like eating too much junk food or forgetting to exercise. It's not even about smoking or drinking, though those certainly play their roles. It's about an ordinary, routine behavior that appears benign on the surface, but is silently destructive underneath. As a physician specializing in heart disease, I've seen it far too many times. Elderly patients walk into my clinic without any significant complaints. They might say they feel a little tired or occasionally dizzy, but otherwise, they believe they're doing just fine. However, upon examination, I often find high blood pressure, signs of atherosclerosis, clogged arteries, or even warning signals of an imminent heart attack. And the worst part is, most of them had no idea. They felt okay. But the danger was growing quietly inside them. You see, it's not only about the obvious behaviors. It's also about the ones we never question. The small, daily decisions we make that don't raise red flags, but over time, compound into serious consequences. For many elderly individuals, these habits are so deeply ingrained that they go unnoticed. But the truth is, they are slowly pushing the heart toward failure. That's why I am urging all senior citizens to pause and reflect on just one behavior, one pattern that might be putting your life at risk without your knowledge. In this video, I'm not only going to reveal this hidden behavior, but I'm also going to uncover the 10 most damaging habits that people over 60 engage in, often unknowingly, that are actively harming their heart health. Each of these behaviors by themselves can significantly raise your risk of heart failure, stroke, or sudden cardiac death. But here's the good news. Every single one of them can be changed. You have the power to take control of your heart health simply by being informed and making small, deliberate changes. It starts with awareness. It continues with action. Let's begin with a habit I see almost every day in my practice. It's also the one that I believe has the most powerful effect on heart health, yet is most commonly ignored, not walking or moving your body every day. For those over the age of 60, the act of staying sedentary for long periods, whether it's sitting on the couch, watching television, reading in bed, or simply staying indoors and inactive, is one of the most dangerous behaviors you can engage in. Unfortunately, it's incredibly common. Many elderly individuals assume that their age excuses them from physical activity. They think, I'm too old for exercise, or I can't go to the gym, so what's the point? But I'm not asking you to lift weights or run marathons. I'm asking you to walk. A simple, steady-paced walk for 30 minutes a day, 15 in the morning, 15 in the evening, is all it takes to cut your risk of heart attack in half. That's a massive benefit for such a minimal effort. Why is walking so powerful? Because when you stop moving, your blood circulation slows down. Blood becomes thicker, more sluggish. Fat starts to accumulate in your arteries, and over time, this buildup narrows your blood vessels. Your heart, struggling to push blood through these tighter pathways, begins to weaken. This is how high blood pressure begins. This is how strokes occur. This is how heart attacks happen, with no warning, in the silence of inactivity. But when you walk, you stimulate blood flow. You improve oxygen delivery to every organ, including your brain. You reduce stress hormones like cortisol, which strain the heart over time. You also regulate blood sugar, keep your cholesterol in check, and maintain a healthy weight, all major factors in cardiovascular health. And walking doesn't cost anything. It requires no equipment, no gym membership, no special training. Just a pair of shoes and the will to protect your health. Don't wait for chest pain to motivate you. Don't wait for a diagnosis to scare you into action. Prevention starts now. Each step you take strengthens your heart, improves your mood, and adds time to your life. Now, let's talk about another behavior that flies under the radar, but is wreaking havoc on the hearts of seniors across the globe. Consuming too much salt. Most people associate salt with a salt shaker, but the majority of sodium in your diet doesn't come from the salt you add to your food. It comes from hidden sources: processed food, canned soups, breads, sauces, condiments, chips, pickles, and frozen meals. These items are often loaded with sodium because salt acts as a preservative and a flavor enhancer. But excessive sodium leads to fluid retention, which raises blood pressure and forces the heart to work harder than it should. Over time, high blood pressure damages the walls of your arteries, making them stiff and narrow. This not only raises your risk of a heart attack, but also puts you at risk for kidney damage, vision loss, and strokes. And the scariest part? You might not feel anything wrong until it's too late. This is why I always tell my patients, read labels. Pay attention to what you're putting in your body. Opt for fresh, whole foods whenever possible. Cook at home. Use herbs and spices instead of salt to add flavor to your meals. Your taste buds will adjust, and your heart will thank you. These are just two examples, but they demonstrate a crucial truth. Small daily behaviors have massive cumulative effects on your health. The key is to become aware of them, recognize the risk they pose, and commit to making a change, one step, one meal, one day at a time. The heart is an incredible organ. It works tirelessly every second of your life, asking for so little in return. But as you age, it needs your help more than ever. Give it what it needs: movement, nourishment, and care. The quality of your life and the length of it depends on it. When you consume an excessive amount of salt, your body holds on to water to balance the sodium levels in your bloodstream. This leads to an increase in the overall volume of blood moving through your vessels, which in turn places additional stress and pressure on your arteries. As this pressure builds over time, it doesn't simply disappear. It begins to quietly damage your arterial walls. The delicate linings of your blood vessels become injured, stiff, and inflamed, reducing their ability to expand and contract as they should. This, over the years, results in sustained high blood pressure. And high blood pressure doesn't just stay in the blood vessels. It starts to wear down the organs that rely on those vessels. Your heart must pump harder than normal. Your kidneys become overwhelmed by the pressure, unable to filter efficiently. Your brain, sensitive and oxygen hungry, becomes vulnerable to strokes and memory loss. And all of this happens silently, without obvious symptoms. That's why high blood pressure is called the silent killer. It sneaks up on you. You won't feel it coming. You won't get a warning. You might feel fine one day and wake up the next facing a crisis. As a cardiac doctor, I've seen this too many times. Patients in their late 60s or 70s who thought they were doing everything right, only to discover that the salty snacks they indulge in daily were gradually steering them toward heart failure. It's tragic because it's preventable. What most seniors don't realize is that the amount of salt needed by an older body is significantly lower than that of a younger adult. The aging body doesn't process sodium as efficiently. The general guideline is to stay below 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day, less than a single teaspoon of salt. And yet, a typical processed meal can exceed that limit in one sitting. Reading food labels becomes not just helpful, but essential. Avoiding processed foods is one of the smartest decisions you can make. Canned soups, frozen dinners, deli meats, store-bought sauces, they all tend to hide enormous amounts of sodium. You can replace flavor by using natural herbs, garlic, lemon, and other seasonings when cooking at home. Small adjustments make a big difference. Choosing unsalted almonds instead of salted ones, switching to low-sodium broth, or simply avoiding pickled items and fast food altogether. By doing so, you're giving your heart a break. You're easing the pressure, improving circulation, and restoring balance. Even subtle shifts in daily habits can have life-saving consequences. Your taste bud will adjust within 2 weeks of reducing salt intake, and meals that once seemed bland will begin to taste vibrant again. More importantly, your heart will be operating under less strain. It's a win in every way. If you've stayed with me this far, I want to thank you. Please take a moment to let me know where you're watching from by leaving a comment below. If anything I've said resonates with you, type 1 in the comments so I know you're with me. If you disagree or aren't sure, type 0. I want to hear from you. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and enable notifications so you never miss out on the advice that can help keep you and your loved ones healthy. Let's move forward by talking about something many overlook: breakfast. Breakfast is supposed to be the meal that energizes you, kickstarts your metabolism, and fuels you for the day. But for too many elderly individuals, breakfast is turned into a minefield of health hazards. Each morning, I see older adults sitting down plates filled with bacon, sausage, buttery toast, sugary cereals, fried eggs, and cups of creamy coffee. These foods might taste good, and they may even feel comforting, but they're extremely dangerous when it comes to heart health. They're loaded with saturated fats, trans fats, and added sugars, all which raise cholesterol, increase inflammation in your arteries, and cause spikes in blood pressure. In my practice, I've observed a disturbing trend. Most heart attacks occur in the early morning hours. Why? Because that's when your blood is naturally more viscous, thicker, and if you flood it with heavy, fatty, salty food, you're making your heart's job that much harder. It has to pump harder to push this thicker blood through arteries that may already be narrowed by years of poor eating habits. This daily stress on your cardiovascular system adds up over time. It's like forcing your heart to run a marathon every morning without rest. Eventually, it breaks down. For those over the age of 60, this is a risk that cannot be ignored. So what should breakfast look like instead? Simple changes can make a world of difference. Avocados, which are rich in heart-healthy fats, fruits high in fiber and antioxidants, oats that lower cholesterol, smoothies packed with greens, nuts, and plant-based milk. These meals don't just nourish you, they protect you. They reduce inflammation, support good digestion, and provide steady energy without overwhelming your system. It's about making the choice the moment you open your eyes. The first thing you put into your body sets the tone for the entire day. Choose wisely, and your heart will respond with strength, rhythm, and endurance. Skip the processed, oily, sugary morning meals, and opt for something your heart will thank you for. I understand it's not always easy to know what foods are good or bad, especially with so many conflicting messages out there. You're not alone. Many seniors feel confused and unsure, particularly when it comes to creating healthy meals consistently. That's why tools like the Senior Health Tracker app exist. Simple, accessible, and made especially for individuals over 60. This app gently reminds you when to eat, what to avoid, how much water to drink, and even suggests heart-friendly recipes. It's like having a supportive partner on your journey to better health, always there to guide you without pressure or confusion. Your health isn't something to gamble with. Every decision you make today shapes the life you'll live tomorrow. And even if the damage has already started, it's never too late to turn things around. Let this moment be the one where you decide to take charge, not just for yourself, but for your family, your community, and everyone who wants you around a little longer. Have your meals and make recommendations for heart-healthy foods that are matched to your age and the specific requirements of your health. The purpose of this app is to provide you with personalized guidance that has been reviewed and approved by a physician. Whether you're trying to control your high blood pressure, manage an existing heart condition, or simply want more energy and vitality throughout your day, this app offers a roadmap that makes it easier for you to make informed choices. You can begin your mornings with confidence and peace of mind, knowing you are following a medically sound path to better heart health. From the moment you download the app today, you're taking an important step toward living with more energy, awareness, and self-assurance. Having a habit of drinking alcohol, while often romanticized as a form of relaxation, or even believed by some to offer health benefits, can be particularly dangerous for older adults. You may have heard people say that a glass of red wine a day is good for your heart. But what's often not discussed enough is that after the age of 60, alcohol begins to have a very different and more harmful effect on the body. Your liver no longer processes alcohol as quickly or efficiently as it once did. Your blood pressure can rise more rapidly, and the chances of your heart rhythm becoming irregular significantly increase. The changes may be subtle at first, but over time, they pose a serious risk. As a physician who specialized in heart disease for many years, I witnessed firsthand how alcohol, even in what many would consider moderate amounts, led to heart failure, strokes, and atrial fibrillation. I had patients who drank just 2 drinks a day and experienced life-threatening consequences. Alcohol consumption can directly damage the muscle of the heart, increasing the fat surrounding it and causing inflammation within the cardiovascular system. It's not just the alcohol itself. It's the interaction with medications used to manage conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol. Alcohol doesn't just blunt the effectiveness of these medications. It can actually amplify side effects and make conditions worse. Many elderly individuals turn to alcohol as a means to relax or to sleep more easily. But in reality, alcohol disrupts your natural sleep patterns, leading to poorer sleep quality, more frequent awakenings, and elevated blood pressure through the night. Even if the amount consumed seems small, the effect builds up over weeks and months. Even a little alcohol consumed consistently can take a toll. If you already have a diagnosed heart condition, the danger is even greater. I always advise my patients who cannot completely abstain to limit their intake to no more than 1 drink per day. And importantly, to avoid drinking every single day. Give your body a break. Your heart rate will stabilize, your sleep will improve, and you'll likely feel better overall. Alcohol might numb stress temporarily, but in the long run, it weakens a very organ that keeps you alive. Don't let a single drink become the decision that leads to a lifetime of regret. Keeping one's anger or tension bottled up is another silent hazard. It may seem like a strong or noble thing to do, to swallow your frustration or grief and carry on as if everything is fine, but this internalization is a heavy burden for your heart to bear. Emotional strain elevates the hormones cortisol and adrenaline in your bloodstream. These stress chemicals make your heart beat faster, constrict your blood vessels, and sharply raise your blood pressure. Over time, if these responses are triggered often, they can result in heart attacks, strokes, and even sudden cardiac arrest. I've treated patients who had excellent diets, exercised regularly, and still developed serious heart issues because they were constantly under emotional stress. Whether the source was family conflicts, financial worries, or feelings of loneliness, the common denominator was suppressed emotional turmoil. I often heard things like, "I don't want to be a burden," or "I've lived with stress all my life." These are understandable feelings, especially in later years. But after the age of 60, your heart is more vulnerable. It doesn't handle prolonged internal pressure the way it once did. Letting go of stress is not just psychological, it's biological. The heart responds when you open up emotionally. Talk to a friend or a counselor. Join a group where you feel heard and seen. Meditate for a few minutes each day. Breathe deeply or write your feelings down. These are small acts of self-care that make a profound difference. Harmony in your emotional life is not a luxury. It's a necessity for a healthy heart. The more you release your emotions in healthy ways, the more resilient your heart becomes. It's not just a pump, it's a sensor. It feels what your mind holds inside. Ignoring snoring or brushing off sleep apnea as nothing more than an inconvenience is another hidden risk. Snoring may be joked about in popular culture, but often signals something far more serious. Sleep apnea is a widespread yet underdiagnosed condition in older adults. It causes you to temporarily stop breathing while you sleep, sometimes hundreds of times a night. These interruptions reduce oxygen levels in your blood, break your natural sleep cycle, and over time, cause lasting damage to your heart. Despite waking up with headaches, memory problems, or persistent daytime fatigue, many people never suspect that sleep itself may be to blame. As a cardiologist, I always ask my patients whether they snored and whether their partners noticed gasping or choking sounds during the night. These details are important. Sleep apnea doesn't just cause fatigue. It significantly raises your risk of high blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, strokes, and even sudden cardiac death. If someone close to you says you snore loudly, wake up choking, or seem unusually tired during the day, take it seriously. Get evaluated. The tests are simple, and the treatments, such as using a CPAP machine or making lifestyle adjustments, can be life-changing. Properly treated, sleep apnea no longer silently weakens your heart. Left unchecked, however, it slowly chips away at your cardiovascular health night after night. Don't ignore the signs. Sleep should be restorative, not destructive. Air or stop breathing while you are sleeping can be a serious sign of trouble. This condition, often undiagnosed, can be easily verified with a simple overnight test. Treatments such as CPAP machines and mouthpieces can help ensure your breathing stays regular, protecting your heart while you sleep. Good sleep is when your body heals. Without it, your heart silently suffers. Don't ignore the warning signs. Snoring isn't just a nuisance. It's often a sign of something deeper. Your heart needs a steady flow of oxygen all night. With quality rest, your heart can finally get the break it needs to recover. On the other hand, taking a puff or inhaling smoke, whether it's firsthand or secondhand, damages your heart. While most people know smoking is harmful, many still don't fully grasp the risks. Even occasional smoking or exposure to someone else's smoke can hurt your heart. It damages artery walls, causes inflammation, and speeds up plaque buildup. This leads to clogged arteries and increases the risk of heart attacks. For those over 60, smoking is especially dangerous. The blood vessels become fragile with age, and smoking makes them worse. I've had patients develop heart problems not because they smoked, but because someone they live with did. No level of exposure is truly safe. But there's hope. If you stop smoking, even after decades, your heart can start to heal within months. Risk drops quickly and improvements begin fast. It's one of the most powerful things you can do for your health. Don't fall for light cigarettes or vaping. They're just as harmful. Your heart needs clean blood and oxygen. Each puff is like a blow to your heart. If quitting is hard, talk to your doctor, try nicotine patches, or join a support group. Simply saying "I quit" is a huge step toward healing. Your body begins to repair itself almost immediately. Another silent danger is staying up late watching TV or using your phone. It seems harmless, but it increases your risk of heart disease. Blue light from screens interferes with melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep. Without quality sleep, blood pressure rises, insulin resistance grows, and your heart is put under strain. Many older adults leave the TV on for comfort or scroll through their phones at night, but this keeps the brain active when it should be winding down. As a heart specialist, I see how poor sleep contributes to heart problems like atrial fibrillation, strokes, and heart attacks. It's not just the light, it's also the stimulation. Watching stressful news or emotional content elevates stress hormones, raises your heart rate, and keeps your brain alert. This prevents your heart from entering its healing state. That's why I always advise turning off screens at least an hour before bed. Instead, try stretching, reading, or listening to calming music. This helps your mind relax and supports your heart. Nighttime is when your heart should recover. Don't waste that chance. Better sleep means a healthier heart. You'll be healthier and stronger if you avoid consuming fried snacks or fast food frequently. While these options are convenient, they're also extremely harmful to your heart. Fast food and fried snacks are full of trans fats, saturated fats, and salt, all of which damage your arteries and put a strain on your heart over time. Even though it may feel like just one quick meal, each bite can silently contribute to long-term heart problems. I've seen many older adults reach for burgers, samosas, fries, or fried chicken when they're hungry. It may seem harmless, but that single meal could raise your cholesterol levels, trigger inflammation, and thicken your blood. Over time, your blood vessels tighten and narrow, making it harder for blood to circulate. Your heart then has to pump harder than it should, wearing itself down until it can no longer keep up. If you're over 60, this process happens even faster. The metabolism slows with age, and the heart becomes more fragile. Fast food has very little nutritional value, yet it can do serious damage. There are much better alternatives that can protect your heart. You can bake, grill, or boil your food instead of frying it. When you feel hungry, try having some fresh fruit, nuts, or a warm bowl of homemade soup. Even small changes, like using an air fryer, can make a big difference. Remember, what you eat enters your bloodstream. If your food is oily, your blood becomes oily. Thick, greasy blood clogs your arteries, leaving your heart overworked and vulnerable. A strong heart needs nourishing food, not fried, processed meals. If you want your heart to thrive, let go of the foods that weaken it. Another dangerous habit I see often is when seniors stop taking their blood pressure medication. Many tell me they feel fine, so they assume they no longer need it. But high blood pressure is a silent killer. It doesn't show symptoms until it's already harmed your heart, brain, or kidneys. Skipping your medication can cause sudden spikes that may lead to a heart attack or stroke. I've treated patients who collapsed after missing just a few doses, sometimes because they ran out, other times because they thought they didn't need it anymore. Don't make that mistake. If you experience side effects, talk to your doctor. Adjustments can be made. But don't stop the medication on your own. Track your blood pressure at home. Keep a journal. Take your medicine at the same time every day. Use reminders or pill organizers. Being consistent is the key to keeping your heart safe. Left untreated, high blood pressure thickens the heart muscle and narrows arteries, leading to heart failure. But when taken seriously, it's entirely manageable, even reversible. Your heart has supported you every second of your life. Now, after age 60, it needs your help more than ever. The meals you choose, the walks you take, and the habits you form, they all add up. Many patients ignore these small things until it's too late, but you can take control now. Start by dropping just one harmful habit today, then build from there. Your heart doesn't need perfection. It just needs your attention, your care, and your consistency. You are not alone in this journey. Tools like the Senior Health Tracker app offer tips, reminders, and food logs to help you stay on track. Your future self and your heart will thank you. It's never too late to take care of your heart. Stay strong, stay